Well, good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today after a pretty long journey for Exploring More. It is so surreal, and I'm so incredibly humbled and honored to be the CEO of Exploring More. And I'm so happy to have so many friendly faces and champions who made this happen today. It's a great day for play. I cannot wait to show you many of the spaces and the zones. It's very immersive, it's very hands-on, but most importantly, many of you know I've been talking about Exploring More, and what I've been saying is it's one of a kind. And normally I don't like saying that because it's a little cheesy, but for this it works, because one of a kind means it's about us. And it's celebrating the fabric of who we are as a community. And so when you go through the zones, it talks about farm to fork sustainability. It talks about moving water, our love. So if you look out the window, it's kind of foggy today, and normally that's a really good view, but it shows our waterway, and it shows everything from the Hudson River all the way down to the Erie Canal, and how the lock system and how water played an integral part of our community and our growth as a state. You're going to go into our Being Good Neighbors. And Buffalo, we're proud to take that title. We are the city of good neighbors. And you'll see our homes. And we started with Puerto Rico, Yemen, and Seneca Nation. And then those will be curated out to show who lives in our community and who we are. You are going to go to see Building Buffalo, that shows our beautiful architecture that is known around the world, and we need to celebrate that. You're going to see how we are in terms of a community and a medical campus. So I'm proud because kids at a very young age are going to be learning literacy and skills at such a young 3, 4, 5 that's going to develop them. And then our other culturals and our other educators are going to take them and lead them right to college all through high school. So this is going to be a wonderful experience. I'm most proud to have our name, and it's Exploring More, the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Children's Museum. This is amazing. As a longtime Western New Yorker, you know I'm from Niagara Falls. I'll say it. I'm proud of it. I live in West Seneca, so I believe it or not, I crossed over the Grand Island Bridge. There's a myth that people from Niagara Falls don't cross over, but we do. But I'm honored. I grew up with the Buffalo Bills. I grew up watching you have no idea how honored I was. And David had the pleasure of a very cold day. It was my third day, and it was the announcement of the $6 million match. And it was on Valentine's Day, and I made the joke, my husband could never compare with whatever gift he gives me on Valentine's Day to what David gave me that particular day. So on behalf of the trustees and our staff and our supporters in the community, thank you for that investment. It means a lot. So thank you. I'd also like to, so I recognize David, Mary. We have, of course, the mayor here today who will be speaking, Mark Polenkars, Crystal Peoples-Stokes. And I just want to make sure, we have Chris Jacobs, we have Senator Ryan, but I really want to make sure that we talk about our governor. And I'm going to be introducing our governor, who's been a champion for the whole canal side in Buffalo. And it has been amazing because what I've been hearing, I got to just share something really kind of funny. I was in the Leadership Buffalo class of 2011, and we were at Canal Side, and nothing was here. And I remember at the time, Erie Canal Harbor Development Corporation talking about the vision and the plans. And after, we were sitting as a group, and not that we're cynical people, but we're like, wouldn't that be great if it really happened? Do you think it's going to happen? And it did. And it takes champions, and it takes all of you here who are champions today to make this happen. And there's many people in the room that really did make it happen. So I'm very pleased, especially, I think Patrick Keller is Patrick here? Thank you. Your work in promoting us has really helped tremendously, so thank you. Two quick things I would be remiss on is you're going to see construction happening today. We're not done. I know everyone wants a date. We're really close. I promise we're really close. We have one more area to do, and so I just wanted to say we're super close with that. We've had wonderful labor union here. We've had the Buffalo Construction and Trade, so I want to thank our workers. I cannot tell you what a yeoman's job. I know it sounds crazy, but I love coming to work, and I love talking to them, and I love their dedication to the project. So I cannot say enough about that as well. So I really want to thank you tremendously. So with that, I'm going to call our champion of Buffalo in Western New York and our region, Governor, I was going to say Mario Cuomo because Dottie did it a couple weeks ago, and I said, I know I'm going to say this. I adored your father, so just so you know that. Andrew Cuomo, Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First, to the whole team here at Explore and More, and Michelle Urbanzik. Let's give them a big round of applause for what they made happen. This is an exciting place. I remember as a kid when they said you were going to the museum, you said, oh, how boring that's going to be. But this is a totally different way to communicate, to educate, to involve young people, to stimulate them, and to have them experience what we want them to experience in a way that they can actually process. So it really is a fantastic service, not just for children, but a different way to educate. And it's also a great economic magnet. It's a great tourism development magnet. So again, to the whole team here, it's imagination, meets capacity, meets real estate development, meets tourism. So it really is an extraordinary job, and you made it happen, and that's what it's all about. Let's give another round of applause to the team. To Mary Wilson, thank you, thank you, thank you. The people of Buffalo, Erie County, Western New York, they all owe the Wilson family such a debt of gratitude. I really believe none of this Buffalo turnaround would have happened without you. 2012 was a pivotal moment for Buffalo. Michelle talked about how we were cynical, or you were cynical. I'm taking myself out of the cynicism. I don't want to be. I'm an optimist, but the people of Buffalo were saying, will Buffalo really turn around, right? Which many people were wondering. And 2012 was almost an inflection point for that. We were doing a lot of work and a lot of good was happening, but people had heard a lot of promises, and they were in that show me state, and they weren't sure to really invest themselves in the belief that Buffalo was going to turn around, right? I remember when this was still the Donovan Building and the Memorial Auditorium, and a lot of people had talked about what it was going to be. It's going to be Adelphia this, it's going to be Bass Pro that, it's going to have a peace bridge in a big circle with lights, and nothing happened. So not cynical, just a little realistic because they'd heard a lot of promises and it didn't happen. But 2012 was a pivotal moment in going from people actually believing in the future. And 2012 was when the Buffalo Bills had to make a very big decision. And if the Buffalo Bills left at that point, I believe you would not have seen the progress and the momentum. I believe it would have brought back that cynicism. And talk about an investment and a point of commitment when Buffalo and Western New York desperately needed it. That's when the Wilson family really stepped up and showed commitment and belief and love to the people of New York and Western New York. Mary Wilson, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it makes it especially nice walking in this building to see Ralph Wilson and the Wilson family name on this building. Thank you. Another round of applause for the Wilson family. To Mayor Byron Brown and County Executive Mark Polenkars, who have made it all happen. They are the architects and the engineers. Great to be with you. Let's give them a round of applause. Majority Leader, which is a very big deal, by the way, Crystal People-Stokes. Pleasure to be with you, Crystal. We have Senator Jacobs with us and his new Senate partner, Sean Ryan. Pleasure. I don't know how you worked that out, but I'm not going to ask either. I remember him back in the day when he was an assemblyman, Sean Ryan. We did a lot of good work together. But the legislature is totally different than it was, so I'm sure they worked it out. To Brian, Supervisor Brian Culper, pleasure to be with you. To Robert Joya and John Comel, who really, between NYPA and the Canal Development Corporation, what a phenomenal, phenomenal job. You stuck with it. Robert Joya, God bless you. John Comel, God bless you. Let's give them a round of applause. This is so exciting because it is another step past that cynicism, past the old Buffalo. I was thinking as you were speaking, it is a little bit of a gray day out there today, and I'm in a little bit of a nostalgic mood. And I was thinking coming in about my first experiences in Buffalo when I was given the official introduction by Tim Russert, God rest his soul. Tim was 32, 33. I was about 27 years old. We were both working for my father, Mario Cuomo. Almost said it. And I would come out with Tim, and we would spend time all through Buffalo. But we always wound up later in the evening in the old First Ward, which was different than it is now. We would go out, how do I say this nicely without getting into trouble? We would go out to eating and drinking establishments later in the evening in the old First Ward. And Tim had such a love and a belief in Buffalo. And he would talk about the inner harbor and what it could be, and the outer harbor and what it could be. But there was nothing. There was nothing. And he had such a love and such a belief that he would be animated about what we could do. Fundamentally, he believed in the people of Buffalo. That was his book, Big Russ. It was about his father, but it was more than his father. It was that whole generation of people who worked and built and sweat and believed. And that's the Buffalo ethos. That is the sense of community. And that's what he believed in, that we could do this given half a chance. What is half a chance? We have the vision. If we had some help and some commitment, we'll do the work, we'll do the investment. We just needed help. We just needed a little spark to start it off. And that's what we did. And the growth has been undeniable. Unemployment rate is about half of what it was. Statistic I love the best, not that I love statistics, 20% more young people in the past 7 years in Erie County. 20% growth in young people. All those years where our greatest export was young people, which is the greatest asset you have, the greatest future you have, and now they're coming back because they're seeing and they're believing and it's happening. And one piece has built on another piece. And Harborside and Canal Side had 150,000 visitors, now has 1.5 million visitors per year. I mean, how unbelievable. And we are past that cynicism. And now we're on the other side of cynicism, which is optimism, where success breeds success. The way there's a negative synergy, there's a positive synergy. And now you're seeing the positive synergy, and private sector developers are coming in, and they're investing, and young people are coming back, and one great project begets another great project. And now we're looking at the Skyway, and we're saying, well, what can we do differently with the Skyway? What could we do? Do we need it? Can it be this? Can it be that? Should it be taken down? What great idea do we have for the Skyway? Well, who are we to think great, bold ideas? We're Buffalo. We're Erie County. We have done big, bold, great things. And we can do them again. And we will continue to do them again. Because a lot of people worked very hard to get us to this place. And Exploring More is a cherry on the cake as far as I'm concerned. It vindicates all that has been done before. The Wilson family, the Bills, investing in this museum, making it a reality, making Buffalo what it is, and being there when Buffalo needed you. It's a story, a movie that is more beautiful and more realistic than anything that has been written. And the last chapter has yet to be written because the best is yet to be. Let's cut the ribbon and open Exploring More.
Hey, David, you want to come over here? There's some room over here.
Always better to be in the bag.
Always better.
Using the Children's Center Charter